text on the side reads UESC TC4, implying that the surveillance footage is taken from Tau Ceti 4. More of this text reads Farsight 7, Grid 2B, which tells us exactly where on Tau Ceti this is being recorded. This part of the text changes throughout the trailer, with a lower alphabetical order indicating how accurate or close up we are to what is happening on the ground. People within the ARG community will specifically notice the Farsight 7 text, since this name is affiliated with one of the major early breakthroughs in the ARG. I believe Farsight 7 is the general area that is being recorded, or maybe the name of the overall surveillance system. The gunshots heard in the background sound like they came from either an assault rifle or an LMG, of which there are only 3 possibilities that we know of: the M77 assault rifle, the Overrun assault rifle, or the Conquest LMG. More gunshots are fired at a distance, with the louder, stronger Longshot sniper rifle almost certainly being the culprit. The other one to me is entirely identifiable. It could be a pistol, an SMG, or a rifle of some kind. A ship can be seen hovering in orbit around one of Tau Ceti's moons. At a glance, you may assume that this is the UESC Marathon, but upon further inspection, it's definitely not. This ship has presumably 2 large engines on each side, whereas the Marathon does not have any engines on its sides. That begs the question, what is it? I believe it may be a sort of dropship, or maybe a station between planets. This could also have something to do with the extraction mechanic of Marathon, but I'm not quite sure about that part. None of the runners we know of have this kind of footwear, so it is very likely that this is a sort of robot AI. Unfortunately, the weapon it carries is also unknown. This runner's model doesn't seem to fit any of the ones we know about. The closest runner you could suggest would be Thief or Rabbit, but I don't think this runner fits either of them perfectly. I'm going to come back to this point soon, though. We are taken off of the camera system of Tau Ceti and are now obviously placed in the position of the dying runner. I believe what this glitch effect represents is a transfer of consciousness between 2 beings, but this is definitely one of the most debatable topics in the trailer. Also, this dot in the background moves, which means that whatever is changing within this runner's visual interface, it can detect movement. The dot is actually the pink cat, named KAAL1, which stands for Dynamic Autonomous Adaptive Lifeform 1. It is a, quote, feline subject which was created to host a memory transfer by Sekiguchi Genetics. The last thing I'll mention about this sequence is what appears to be a kind of time skip as the runner's consciousness is transferred. We see this as the blood from the runner's hand slowly disperses into the water, then it suddenly appears to have moved a far distance in an instant. This could suggest that the whole glitch effect that we watched through the video took much more time to pass than how we perceived it. A moment ago, I said this runner was dying, not dead. We know this because they clutch their weapon right against them following the glitch effect. Furthermore, we actually know the identity of this gun. It's called the BRRT SMG, and may have been responsible for some of the gunshots we heard earlier, though I can't confirm that. I believe that this is the most important part of the Save the Date trailer. In my mind, this beam of light has to be one of 2 things. Either some sort of loot-based drop, or much more likely, an extraction in progress. The light comes from the atmosphere of Tau Ceti 4 and moves to the ground, perhaps some sort of cybernetic futuristic version of Star Trek's beam system, or any kind of classic alien abduction. This theory is reinforced by the end of the trailer, where the light moves from the ground back up to the atmosphere, obviously implying some form of transport, whether that be a runner or cargo. The last thing I have to touch on is the reflection of this runner in Kali's right eye. As I mentioned before, this runner is most likely not one we've seen before, at least not seen in detail. From this face, I'm guessing that this is the unknown runner from the cards given to playtesters. I feel like there is a strong resemblance between these two from the eyes to the facial design. The only other class that this could possibly be is stealth, but the designs don't match nearly as well. And that's all I have for you. If you learned something new or thought I missed something, please leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this trailer and style of content. I've been Astronomical, I hope you enjoyed the video, thanks again for watching, and see you next time.